Nate Diaz and Anthony Pettis. It was a treat to finally see Nate Diaz back in the octagon. The crowd loves him, and for two main reasons. So the first reason why the crowd loves Nate Diaz is his aloof nature. He tends to walk around with this I don't care attitude and this I'm not going to sell out to the man attitude as well, which he exemplifies by taking long periods of absence and sticking true to what he believes he's worth and what he believes he should be doing in his career, and not necessarily signing a deal just to get back in the octagon. But also a really great example of this is the fact that on media day he showed up and was on stage smoking CBD in front of everybody, in front of all the cameras for the world to see, which just exemplifies so well his aloofness, his nonchalantness, his I don't care attitude that the fans love so much. And even though it's perfectly fine for him to do that, CBD is not something that is psychoactive. It's not something that can get you high in any possible way. The visual of it is so visceral in that regard that, again, it just adds to the fact that, or adds to the reason why fans love him so much. The second thing is the way he fights. He loves to just stand and bang, and he has this amazing capability of just throwing a high volume of punches and overwhelming his opponents, which is, again, a very visual thing to see that the fans just eat up. It's extremely entertaining. He does a lot of smack talking typically in the octagon as well, along with the very well-known Stockton slap, although we didn't really get to see that in this fight. But overall, that is something that the fans have known to expect and have grown to love about him. So again, it's always a treat to see him fight, and the fans definitely loved this experience as well. When it comes to the fight itself, I personally thought that the fight could have ended in the second round. I thought it could have been stopped. We did see Anthony Pettis at one point turn his back to Nate Diaz and just crouch down and just go into a very defensive, almost turtle-like position. And typically that's a universal sign that the fighter wants the fight to stop. It's pretty much over, short of them, who knows, saying that they wanted to stop, or their corner throwing in the towel perhaps, although this wouldn't be that type of a situation. But we saw Pettis take that action to just be completely defensive for that time being. The ref, for whatever reason, didn't catch on, so the fight kept going. And we have seen this before with Kat Zingano against Megan Anderson. She did get kicked and her eye got scratched. But even so, very notable and logical reason for the fight to stop. But with that being said, she did turn her back and crouch down. She gave her back to Megan Anderson, and in that fight, the referee did notice it, did stop the fight. In this one, however, with Anthony Pettis, that did not happen. The referee did not call it, and the fight continued on, and both fighters went on to receive some damage, but more so Anthony Pettis. So the fight went on, and we did get to see some great grappling from Nate Diaz. I wish we could have seen more of it. I don't know why Nate Diaz has never really used his grappling to his advantage much. He has a lot of losses via decision on his record that just simply don't need to be there. And I think it could have benefited him a lot to go to, say, a wrestling camp, brought one over to his team in Stockton. But he just has never really done so, has never taken that proactive step to add that to his skill set. Again, he's a phenomenal grappler, which we do get to see sometimes, typically if somebody else were to take him down, but he's not usually one to take his opponent down. So overall, phenomenal fight. He did call out Jorge Masvidal, which was great. I think that was such a great move for him to do, and I think it would be a phenomenal fight to see because both fighters are loved for relatively similar reasons, and Jorge Masvidal is coming off of the fastest knockout ever in the UFC with that flying knee to Ben Askren. To this day, it shocks me to see. Like I've had to literally look it up on YouTube to show people. Like if they're not huge fans of the sport, I'm like, no, like you need to see this. Like that's how good of a knockout and win that was. And the fact that he's risen to such popularity because of it and become so much more respected as a fighter. And he has sort of that same nature that Nate Diaz has. I think it'd be great to see the two of them in there, as Nate Diaz even did say that there could only be one gangster in the UFC. So I'd love to see who comes out the victor in that fight. But overall, let me know what you think of that potential matchup, as well as the Anthony Pettis versus Nate Diaz fight. And do you think that it could have been stopped early in the second round? I would like to know if other people made that assessment as well. Again, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and to subscribe for more content. I'll be seeing you in the next one.